Hi, my name is Corliss Jackson, and I am going to talk to you today about tailoring your resume to a particular vacancy announcement. Now, I am assuming that as you are applying, you already have a foundational resume completed, meaning you've already identified which job series you're targeting, and you already have a baseline or a foundational resume completed. Once you have completed this, there are 4 steps that you're going to need to take to tailor your resume for each vacancy announcement that you apply to. What you're going to look at: number 1, the duties section; number 2, the assessment questionnaire; number 3, the KSAs; and number 4, you're going to identify keywords. So let's talk about the duties section. The duties section is the second tab in USA Jobs in any vacancy announcement. Okay, you always see 5 tabs across the top, and the second tab is the duties tab. You are looking for an 80% match between the duties listed in the vacancy announcement and your skills, those skills that you've gained over the last 10 years. Now, as you get to the duties section and you determine that this might be a good fit for you, here's how you are going to tailor your resume for this particular vacancy announcement. Now, in the duty section, you will see some bulleted phrases. Sometimes there's bullets, sometimes there's not, but there will be sections of phrases that are talking to the skills required for the jobs. You are going to look through this duty section to see if there are any phrases, things that you've done that are not on your current resume, and you are going to find a place to add them. We're looking primarily at the verbs. So if you look at the first section of text here, analyze and report, if you don't have analyze and report in your resume, you need to find a home for it. Now, you probably have in your resume sections of text, and if you've built your resume using the format where each skill set has its own paragraph or soundbite, you should be able to find pretty easily one of those paragraphs that makes sense for putting in the words analyze and report. Now, if you already have a comprehensive resume completed, you may already have these words in there, but I would go through each section of text in this duties section to make sure that if there's anything you can add, that you add it. This is one way that you can tailor your resume to the particular vacancy announcement. Now, over time, your resume will become more and more robust, meaning it'll have more and more information added to it. That is okay. It is okay to have a lengthy resume. Not a problem for a federal resume. Remember, the more information you have in your resume, the more possibility for a higher score you possess. Second thing I want to talk about is the assessment questionnaire. As you are looking at these assessment questions, you should look to see if you can answer as many as you can at the highest level. In this case, that would be E. I'm considered an expert. A, B, C, and D will not get you what you want. You have to market yourself. You have to brag. You have to boast. Answer, if you can, at the highest level. I'm not saying to be dishonest. I'm saying you have to stretch and answer at the highest possible level. Now, as you go through this assessment questionnaire, there might be anywhere from 5 to 150 questions. As you go through this assessment questionnaire, You may find that there are some questions in this questionnaire that you want to add some information from the questionnaire to your resume, and that is what I would do. If there's anything that's missing from your resume that's in the assessment questionnaire and you've done it, I would add it to your resume. Now, you might ask where you can find this assessment questionnaire and all of these questions. There will generally be a section under the third tab, which is the Qualifications and Evaluations tab, down at the bottom, and if you scroll down to the bottom, you will probably see a section called How You Will Be Evaluated. And it will say to preview questions, click here. And you will generally see all of the questions that they will be asking you once you decide that you want to apply to this vacancy announcement. Again, if there's any question, topic, or information that you would like to add to your resume, now is the time to do that before you actually apply to the job. The other thing you may see in the qualification section is something called specialized experience. And this is a section that may have language or wording in it that you might want to add to your resume. For example, in this particular case, it says, in addition to the qualifications above, applicants must have experience with automated information systems, demonstrated experience in database management and web content management, and experience working in SharePoint or equivalent software programs. In addition, it says certification as a contracting official representative and experience with government contracts is required. This must go in your resume, because if it's not documented in your resume, it doesn't exist in your background and you will be disqualified. So if in fact you do have these qualifications or this experience, you must document it in your resume, and that's extremely important. Now, the other thing that I want to discuss with you are the KSAs, or the knowledge, skill, and ability statements. These are short phrases that the government gives us that they ask us to prove that we have as applicants. The burden of proof is on us. Now, in the past, the way that we had to prove this was in the form of a lengthy government essay. And nobody really liked to write these, and most of the agencies didn't like to read them either. So what has happened is that we are now incorporating these KSAs directly into the resume that we submit as applicants. One of the things that you will need to do is to go through your resume and make sure that each and every one of these KSAs are somehow incorporated into your resume. Meaning the very first one here, for example, knowledge of and skill in applying analytical and evaluative techniques. That would be something I would make sure is in my resume. Meaning I want to make sure that there's something about my ability to perform analytical and evaluative techniques. The next part of the statement says, in order to plan, schedule, and conduct studies and analyses of management functions. I want to make sure that there's something in my resume about my ability to conduct studies and analyses. And you can take these piece by piece, making sure that each and every one is addressed in your resume. Now, the third thing I want to talk about is identifying keywords. And we've all heard that keywords are important, and there is no difference in a federal resume. Keywords are extremely important. What will generally happen is that an HR person will scan your resume with their human being eyeballs and look for keywords in it. So it's important that, number one, these keywords are incorporated into your resume. Number two, it's important that these keywords stand out. I will go to this website. It's called TagCrowd. tagcrowd.com. If for some reason the TagCrowd website is down, there's another website called Wordles that I like. www.wordls.com. Qualiss.com, and it does primarily the same thing that TagCrowd does. What I will do is I will take the important information from the vacancy announcement. Generally it will be the duties section, some of the language in the qualification section, and I will take language from the KSA section, and I will copy it and paste it directly into the TagCrowd box provided to me on the website. TagCrowd box looks like this. I will paste it into this box and I will click on submit, and I will get a result that looks like this, where the words that are bigger and bolder are those words that I want to make sure show up on my resume. Analyze, effectiveness, management, operations, programs. Now, if you have created a foundational resume for this particular job series, in this case it's program analyst, you should find that these keywords and phrases are already in your resume, but it doesn't hurt to double check. Just make sure that you have these words somewhere in your resume. It is a subjective scan that is done by the HR folks, so they just need to see these words show up or appear in your resume. One of the things that you can do is to capitalize these words. And if you want more information on why we capitalize, you can check out the webinar on formatting. But it's important that the HR folks can see very quickly that these words exist and that they're in capital letters, and that will help them identify them quickly from your resume, directly out of your resume. Alright, if you would like more information on how to tailor your resume to the vacancy announcement that you're targeting, you can visit us on the web, or you can give us a call at 844-433-3562. That's 1-844-4FED-JOB. Good luck cracking the code, everybody. Thank you. Bye-bye.